Hello, Dave.
Hello, Fabrizio. How are you today?
I'm fine. You?
Well, a busy day, a good day for sure.
Yeah.
I have already taught one class, level two. He's
Okay.
a returning student,
Okay.
so I am I am part of it is teaching the do and does and the difference between I work and I am working.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice. Nice.
So it's always good for me. It is the most difficult to go from the beginning because in the beginning I have to use like 80% Spanish and 20% English, right? And then
Yeah.
it's 75-25, and then it's 50-50, and then
I
so but
have the same problem when I went to the Zoni school. Uh,
okay,
the 95% of the classmate is Spanish. Uh,
yeah, Hispanic.
yeah, them talk with me in Spanish. Okay, guys, but I understand a little
A
bit,
little,
but
yeah.
I'm Italian. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry for this. No, no, it's nice, nice.
One of my most challenging classes, I was teaching on Saturdays for a 3-hour class, so that's a long time.
Yeah.
And one of the students was from Thailand.
Oh my God.
So there isn't not even the same alphabet, not even the same Roman, Italian nothing.
Yeah, he's
And so it wasn't a basic level, it was intermediate, it was level three. So they were speaking some, but not enough because I'd always help with some Spanish, and I didn't know anything from Thailand. So sometimes you'd have to look in the dictionary, translate, and
yeah.
hmm.
Thailand is very
But
hard.
one day I found a list of opposite adjectives,
Yeah.
and it was English to Spanish, and I thought it's a big company, so I said, well, what about English to Thai? And they had the list. So I printed out the list for her, and she was so excited. She said, "Where did you find? How do you know my language?" Google. You know? It might not be perfect, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, because it's strange. It's simple. When I coming here, I
When
understand.
I was coming
I
here,
sorry, I was coming here. I
or
came
when I came,
when I came.
more more typical. Are you talking about the voyage, the actual travel? Because if you want to talk about the time you were in the airplane or the boat when I was coming to the United States or when I was going
Yeah,
to the United States.
when I was in the United States, I
Okay.
I speak English and less now. But
Wait a minute. Give me. Oh, you talk, but
go. Yeah, yeah.
no, I have to find. No, you can talk, but Milana, something happened that the meeting didn't work.
Yeah.
I think I gave her the wrong information.
Okay.
All right. So when you were coming here,
Yeah. I for in the first time I didn't go to the school.
okay.
I lost um, uh, I lost the time for this. After when I decide uh, of going to the school, I I founded the worst school because
Okay, you found.
I found
Find, found, have found.
I found I
Good.
found the worst school because the means of the school is you don't need and learn the grammar, but
Oh,
only with talk for survivor. But
yeah.
I
Okay. That is what many of the free classes in the churches and the libraries, they just repeat the basic survival words.
but this is a government classes. Is no free
Oh,
classes. I pay, yeah. And
okay. Wow.
hello guys.
Hello, hello.
Okay,
Sorry.
mi vane qui. We talk another time.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
No.
It's good
Start the
fun.
lesson.
Well, he was explaining about when he was first learning English. So yeah, when you go to different schools or you go to free classes or you look at things on YouTube, but you really, to learn, you need a small class and you need time for the teacher to explain properly and to answer the individual questions. Because many times I start the level 2 and I have 8 or 10 students and I'm like, wow, this is big. And when you get to level 3, about half don't go to the next level. They only know they don't even really understand do and does.
No.
So they are speaking, they learn the vocabulary, but it is broken because they don't learn the grammar. Like you were saying, they don't learn the grammar.
But yes, but the other problem is many students are not interested about the class because many students is signed in the school only for the status. But
Oh,
this
huh.
student disturb the other classmate. Uh,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
We had a student who was always making jokes, and then of course everybody's laughing, and it disrupts the class.
Yeah,
There's a good word, disrupt.
disrupt,
So we have the volcano will erupt,
erupt, yeah,
eruption.
eruzione.
Disruption is like to molest, to bother, to make a problem. So it's not always people. If you have a disruption in your electric service, maybe you didn't pay your bill, or maybe there was an accident outside that cut the power. So
Yeah,
disruption in service is another term. But yeah, when somebody comes in and they're like that's a disruption of your concentration.
yeah. I have the problem for the concentration.
Okay.
Yeah, infatti I decided lost the class after the you remember the name of the teacher? Sorry, after oh my God.
Alejandra Edzona.
Yeah, after Alejandra left the school, I I written I write her.
I wrote.
I wrote also today. I'm bad student. I brought her. Ok.
He's mixing up the past tense today.
Io ho detto,
It's okay.
Maybe you can build the new class, the private class, and start the the new situation.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
How many students were in your class before, guys?
15, 16,
Okay.
but online.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. When
That's a lot of students.
yeah. The lesson is maybe during 2 hours. No, I remember it's 2 hours.
Yeah,
2 hours.
yeah.
But the really lesson maybe is 30 minutes.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah, there's too many side conversations, etc. Okay, let's jump right in. We're going to do a screen share here. So I pulled out a couple different things for you. And this one I think is going to be fun because I believe that it was Milana who asked me this question.
Confusing.
So what is the difference between say,
Milana, I agree.
Talk, and speak?
Yeah, it's true.
Right? We know all of these have to do with words. They have to do with the mouth, making some language. So let's take a look at these 4 words in a little detail. So here are 4 examples. Fabrizio, read the first one, please.
Tell him to meet us here.
Okay. So one thing to notice is immediately following the word tell is the person. Tell him.
He's a third person.
Now, you probably in Italian have something very quick. I know in Spanish, dile.
Dile. Yeah.
You know, dime, dile, you know, you have. Okay, so the word of the person is going to come immediately after tell. Wherever tell is in the sentence, the person is going to come after. So we'll talk about that in a moment, but just so that you notice. Whatever other verbs or other details are not important, but right after the word tell. All right, Milana, next sentence.
Can you say your name again?
Okay. When we say followed by again, what's another way we could use that? What verb could replace say again?
Repeat.
Repeat. Right. So can you repeat your name again, please? Could you, we can get more formal. Would you? So here you could say would, could, or can. Say your name again. Okay. So we know by repeat it has something to do with the action again, but it's like we want to hear it again, correct? Can you say your name again so we can hear it another time? So we know it has to do with hearing the sound. Say has to do with making the sound. Talk. We talk on the phone every week. When we think of talk, we basically think of conversation. So we could say we converse, conversar, we converse on the phone every week. Now, converse is a little more formal. If you say we converse on the phone every week, maybe you are talking about your psychiatrist or your doctor or somebody who is not very familiar. You don't converse with your family. You converse with your supervisor in Japan, long distance. So talk is more casual. Talk is a very casual word. Especially here, you see it says every week, so it's regular. All right. What about this next one?
Speak quietly in the library.
All right, so quietly.
Quietly.
So what is our keyword in here that tells us something? What about the word library?
This is the rules.
So the library is a place where,
Yeah,
right?
this is
So,
the library rules.
Mhm.
so even this sentence, if somebody is telling you this sentence, they are not going to speak loudly. They're going to say, speak quietly in the library. Or it could be a rule. Yes, it could be a sign on the door when you enter the library, the vestibule. But it could also be the person tells you, shh, speak quietly. So we know that speak is also making noise, but it sounds a little more formal. And you said it when you said it's like a rule. We know that there's something in the tone of this to pay attention. So speak is not as casual as talk.
But sorry, Dave, if I use speak in the sentence, we speak on the phone every week, is mistake.
It could be identical. So in some cases, it is a pure synonym, 100%.
Okay,
In some cases, it will become a little more formal.
because talk and speak is more same, you know.
Well, and in many languages, it is the same word, hablar. The difference would be if we wanted to get particular and say converse, that one we might change. Here, by saying repeat, any action can be repeated. So that doesn't tell us it's vocal. Um, tell him has a sense of a command. Tell him I'm sorry. Tell him I will be late. When I say tell him, I am asking you to exchange some information that I want to convey to the other person. So don't worry about whether we can repeat, change the word. Could we say him? No, we don't say him. So tell him is an instruction for sure, and say your name again is an instruction. Talk on the phone is just the action of conversation, and speak quietly just means talking in a low volume. So let's look at these. Look, we're going to understand this a little bit better now. Milana, please read the first paragraph.
Do this verb something sometimes confuse you? They are so similar that it can be difficult to know which one is the right one to use.
Okay. Fabrizio, continue.
And don't worry, you are not alone. I get asked the difference between tell and say, and told and speak all the time by my student.
All right. Now, I'm actually going to change these right here. I'm just going to do the ampersand to know that that is a pair and this is another pair.
Sorry, David. What is the name of this sign you put now?
Ampersand.
%?
Ampersand. What
And
is it in Italian and what is it in Spanish?
I don't know. In Italy, I don't have.
And
It just means and, but yeah. It's called AMPERSAND, ampersand.
Ampersand.
I don't know if that is a Latin word that means like connect two things or is a set joined together. I don't know what it actually means. What's interesting is it has the word and in it.
In Italia is I translate now is a commercial he.
Okay, so yes, that is used because when you're making signs and things, it saves you the space.
Okay,
Ah, very good.
sorry.
All right. So this is not the first time I've been asked, so I did some research, and this is what I found. So, and I like it. I modified it, and I gave you some examples too. So let's start with stay and tell. That's our first group where we get confused. In Spanish, the word is decir for both say and for tell. How about in Italian?
Dire.
Dire. So you have the D sound. Okay, good. In the past, these are both irregular. So say changes to said, and tell changes to told. All right, these verbs are a little bit different in their definitions. Say means to express something with words. Okay, we got that idea. And tell means give information to a person. So the result may be the same. The other person hears what you are saying or what you are telling. The only difference is here you are giving information for sure to another person. So there is the direction that I am going to use the verb to connect my information to another person. When I say expression sometimes with express something with words, I don't say who receives it. I can say out loud, but I cannot tell out loud. So that would be one difference. So regardless of who is there, it doesn't matter if anybody's listening or not. Actually, that is two words. Sorry. See how that. All right. Tell means another person receives the information. I'm not going to have room to put all of this here. Let me see here what I want to do. First will not be. Second of all, we're going to make it small. Still too small. So the way we do that, we move it over one. Wow. All right, let's go to the next example while I'm doing that. All right, that's the most important difference between the two words. The result is the other person, if there is another person, hears it. When you use tell, you must have a person following the verb. That is what I said before. It could be a name of the person or a pronoun, but there must be a person following. I told Tom that we are leaving now. Or, he told me to do it. So we see the exchange is between two people when we are using tell.
And I can not use I told him that we are leaving now.
You could say that. I
Okay.
told him that we are leaving now, sure.
Okay.
But you cannot put say in these examples.
Okay.
I say Tom. No, you don't do that. I said to Tom. He said to me. So if you were to replace this with say, you would have to say to, or said to. I said to Tom. He said to me to do it. That's too confusing. He told me. Well, I'm going to make space to use that, but we know that we cannot use the word say unless we say to. All right, let's move along here. So to help you understand, I want to use some examples. So we're going to practice out loud with me as I'm saying these sentences. You'll get some extra speaking practice too, as well as a grammar lesson. All right. Notice the difference between where are they going? She didn't say. No words were spoken. Where are they going? She didn't tell me. She didn't give me the information. She didn't say only means that she was not talking. If I say she didn't tell me, she could have said to somebody else, but the information was not given to me. Maybe she wrote a note and I didn't see the note, but she didn't tell me directly. Does that make sense at all? Or is it confusing?
No, I don't understand the difference from she didn't say, she didn't tell me.
All right. So the main difference is you can use both.
Yeah.
Because the end result is I did not receive the information. But the two main differences are if I use the verb tell, I have to use who receives the information, me or another person.
Okay.
If I use the word say, I do not need to indicate the person receiving the information.
Okay, this is the rules we
From above, right.
above.
And even though in this example I said we could change with say, or in the past I said to Tom, it's not as common, and I cannot do it in all the cases. I'm not going to use where are they going? She didn't say to me. No, we don't do that. She didn't say to me. Or she didn't tell to me. No, we don't use that. She didn't tell me. She didn't say to me. She didn't tell to me. No, we don't. So the form is tell requires the person. And that is where I find a lot of students. He say me, he said me. No, he didn't say anything. He told you. You're going to give the person, then make sure you use the word tell or told. Don't use the word say or said. Let's take a look at a question. This might be a little more obvious. What did he say and what did he tell you? So again, we need the person. In the first case, what words were spoken? What did he say? In the second case, what information did he give you? I received the information, but I received the information that was spoken. So the end result, I received the same information. The difference is, in the first case, it doesn't say who received it, and in the second case, it must say who received it. So let's take a look at that example and say that we were speaking to a group of people. What did he say to the group of people? What did he tell the group of people? They're actually identical there. Can I say, what did he say to you? Yes, you can do that. Can I say, what did he tell? No, you? No, I cannot do that. So sometimes I can put the person in when I use say. What did he say to his mother? What did he say to his boss? To his boss. What did he tell his boss? I don't need to. So say to is more likely you need to use the word to and then the person. Next example. Say hi to Paul for me feels very different than tell Paul I said hi. Think about it in your own language. How would you say this sentence in Italian?
Di ciao a Paolo per me.
Okay. And in Spanish, Milana? Dile hola a Pablo para mí.
Hola, hola a Pablo para mí.
Okay. Hola a Pablo para mí. Okay. So you don't even have to use the word say. No, dice or dile, right?
Sí, bueno, puede ser también dile,
Okay.
dile hola
Okay.
a
So
Pablo.
now let's look at the second sentence. In Italian,
Di a Paolo io I said hi. Di a Paolo io dico ciao.
okay. So it's a little more confusing and it takes more words. What is it in Spanish? Dice a Pablo que yo dije hola? No.
And the second one,
Yeah.
dile a Pablo que digo hola,
Que digo or que dice?
que digo.
Okay.
I say hi. Yo dije hola.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. The reason we say said is because I said to the person who is going to say hello to Paul.
Yeah.
So he heard it from me. It is second-hand information. So I already said to the middle person. So he says, I said, Dave said to say hello. So the result is the same. Dave said hello to Paul, regardless. but the feeling and how you translate is different.
Yeah.
Which is more common in your language?
The first. In the second
Right.
case is maybe you say this if you want are ironic.
So you really don't mean to say hi. You
Yeah,
just say hi
yeah,
and then move on.
yeah.
I like that. I think it's different because I think when you say tell Paul that you are going to give him some instructions like tell Paul don't forget to lock the door. Wait, what am I doing here? Lock, lick. Well, I am bad today here. All right. So the first Paul, the first one I can't really say. Say to Paul, don't forget to lock the door.
Ah, to lock. Okay,
How do I change the first one? Say to Paul that he needs to lock the door. It doesn't translate very well.
is in second case is tell Paul I say no to forget to lock the door.
No, no, it doesn't. Even that doesn't work. I'll have to come up with another example for say, but that's an odd one. So when you are transferring information, that's the important part, is the information is critical. It's about the door not being unlocked. So you are transferring information to a third person, partido, third person, right? Another person. So that is why Paul, the person you are telling the information or needs to know the information, they have to come right after the word tell. Tell Paul, and now I say the information. He needs to remember to lock the door. So that one does not translate. So I'm learning. This is good for me also. All right, next one, Mivana, your turn.
I want to say something about our teacher.
All right, so we don't say who is going to hear this. We want to say something about our teacher. So you're in the middle of the conversation, maybe with other students.
Yeah.
So it's in general. I want to say something about our teacher is a general statement. I want to tell you something about our teacher. I know who is going to receive it. I want to say to you something about our teacher. No. So what if we are having conversation face to face? Is there a difference? Or is it different if it's by telephone and we don't see the face?
Is
Which one do you think is more common?
is
Tell.
the second
The second,
sentence.
yeah. Yeah, in the moment I am explaining to you that I want to tell you these details.
Yeah.
This doesn't have the same strength because it doesn't have direction.
Yeah. The first sentence
So
you
maybe I raise my hand in class. Teacher, yes, Dave. I want to say something about our teacher. Okay, Dave, you can speak.
yeah you use this in the group.
Right? I think so. I want to say something about our project. In fact, the very fact that it is our, we know it's to other people that are also students. The group is definitely students. But that might not be who you're talking to. What if you are in a group with your students, but you want to explain to another person? Maybe they are trying to decide if they want to keep the teacher. Is the teacher a good teacher or a bad teacher? So the person, the human resources, or whoever makes the decision about employment is asking the students for their opinion. Yes, I want to say something about our teacher. She's a very excellent teacher, or no, she's not a very good teacher. So yeah, it's a little more formal, or it's just not as personal. Here, it's personal. Quiero decirte, I want to tell you. It's like it's a secret almost.
Yeah.
Confidential.
Confidential.
There you go. All right, Fabrizio, next pair.
I say that their new house is beautiful.
So in that example, it sounds like you are repeating what was already said. So if I didn't hear you, could you repeat, please? I said that their new house is beautiful. So you're giving me the information of something that was spoken before. And I feel that you are repeating it right now. You were talking about the new house. I just didn't hear it the first time. Now, if you go to the second sentence,
I told
go ahead.
them that their new house was beautiful.
I told other people or the same people.
I told it's the same people.
Okay. So here's where it is interesting because we have them
And they.
and we have there. So yeah, if it's in the same sentence, unless we have the name of another person or another group, then the house is the same as the people that we are talking to. I told them that there, immediately that there is the same people. Here, I said that their new house is beautiful. We don't know who we're talking to. Maybe my mom says, "Oh, did you go and see the new house?" "Oh, yes. I love the new house. Did you tell them?" "Oh, yeah. I said that their new house is beautiful. They were very appreciative," or something. So it's different. It's not, again, it's not personal, not immediate.
And sorry, and
That
maybe here I in in the first sentence you talk uh, with the other person,
right.
but you know and say exactly, because in the second sentence you say, I told them, but
Yes,
maybe in the first case you talk about the house beautiful, but maybe you know said at them.
correct.
I don't know.
In,
I,
in fact, I said that their new house is beautiful because I didn't say them before it. Makes me think that I am not included in that group. There is not my. So it is some other people that have this house, for sure.
yeah.
I told them that their new house was beautiful. We know that we were talking to that person and in reference to their house, particular. See, the difference is not a lot. It is not always critical, but what is critical is just remembering to put the person. Tell you, tell Paul, tell you, told them, tell you, told him. That is what is important, is we have to use the person, and we don't usually use the person when we say or said. In fact, we're more likely to use another word. Yo dije que, and the information follows. So once I say the word that, everything that follows is like a repeat of what was already spoken. I said that blah 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 blah. I told them that blah 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 blah. So that, the information follows. What about here where we're going to use how? Ivana, your turn.
How?
Did he say?
Did he say how it happened?
Okay. And how about the next one?
Did he tell you how it happened?
Which one do you think feels like the person gave details?
The second one.
Yeah. It feels more detailed.
Yeah.
Did he say how it happened could mean he just said, oh, it was an accident. No explanation. Little explanation. Um, did he say how it happened? Right, can we change it to, did he say to you how it happened? No, because we probably, in that case, we're going to change, did he explain to you how it happened? Did he tell you how it happened? So yeah, I don't get the feeling, I'm going to change, give a little more space here so the computer doesn't go bonkers. I get the feeling that tell you is more personal, more detail. And you felt that too. That's good. All right, next one, Fabricio.
I say that I will meet him on Sunday. And
All right, how is that
I,
different than I told him? Go ahead.
I told him that I will meet him on Sunday.
Two person.
I think they're identical here,
For me,
except
it's exactly the same.
Right. The only difference is in the first sentence, I said that I would meet him. We don't know who we're talking about until this part of the sentence. Here, I know immediately who the conversation went to before. I told him that I would meet him. Even the rhythm, I told him, meet him. This definitely feels a little more definite, just a little. But the meaning overall is identical. So the key thing is just remembering, if you're going to use tell or told, remember that you must use a person following. You must have a person. Capisce? Capisce is Italian, right?
Yes.
Capisci.
Capisci. I knew that. All right. Take a moment and breathe. That was good. My old boss from Peru, he would always say, "Estamos." I'm like, why are you asking if we are? We are? You mean estamos juntos or entendemos? We understand. We are together
Yeah.
on the same page.
Yeah.
He would always say estamos.
Stiamo.
All right. All right. What about speak and talk? All right. So just like say and tell, speak is an irregular verb. Past tense is spoke.
Spoken.
Talk is a regular verb, so it's only ed talked. Remember, the sound is a KT. Talked.
Talked.
Asked.
Asked.
Asked and talked. Baked. I think it's a little harder when there's the L. Tall. Talked.
Talk.
We just don't pronounce the L. A little bit. If you feel like the word tall, talk,
Talk.
talked.
Talked.
But as soon as we hear the K, we lose the L. Talked. So we
Talked.
don't really hear it. All right, the pronunciation of that ED is the same as the T sound added. So this is specific. All right, Ivana, please read now.
Now, speak and talk are synonymous, and most of the time you can use either
Either one.
either one of these words and interchange.
This is good. Let's take this sentence apart for a moment. First of all, either one. What would that be in Italian? In Spanish is cualquiera or cualquiera.
Formale. Formal. What?
Right.
What word? Sorry.
Oh, either one. Cada una. Cada uno.
Cada una.
Literally.
Cada una.
Okay. So it doesn't matter, is what we're saying is it doesn't matter if we use speak or talk. We can usually use them intercambiarmente.
Intercambiabile.
Intercambiable.
So same thing with interchange. Yeah.
Intercambiabile.
Pero como how
Intercambiarmente.
no, in English, how you say that word?
I was waiting for that. Interchangeably. Interchangeably.
Interchangeable.
So we have inter,
Change.
and in the middle we have change and ably. Interchangeably. Give Give me 1 second here. I'm going to use my dictionary here. Inter Interchangeably in Spanish is indistintamente.
Indistintamente.
Wow. Oh, you don't distinguish between the two.
Is
Distintamente is no es distinto.
how they say is the same.
Yeah. So they are almost identical. Qual significa, which means it doesn't matter, you can choose either. There are a few slight differences in the way they are used. So not too much. So let's take a look. What is that word? Do we know the word slight?
Mm-mm.
Slight is almost zero. Or not enough difference. If I show you two photos in my camera,
Like nothing.
right, side by side, and you're looking to see what is the difference, and you go, oh, wait a minute, I think I closed my eyes on this one photo. Everything else is identical. Only difference is my mouth was open or closed, or my eye was a little open, a little closed. So it's not enough to usually make a difference. Slight differences, not much. All right.
So, sorry,
Pete,
Dave. Sorry.
go ahead.
Is the is for me for not confuse me when I read again this paragraph. Interchangeably, I translated the word indistintamente, but indistintamente in Italy, in English, is indiscriminately. Maybe it's more
Oh,
correct.
yeah.
Maybe it's more
You
correct.
know what? That's not a bad synonym,
Yeah, this
but
is
yeah, I
for
could
understand
do it.
better me. No, is for correct you.
Okay. Indiscriminately, an example of indiscriminately.
Okay.
I have a bag that is filled with red and blue buttons, little buttons.
Yeah.
And I don't look. I'm not looking. I just put my hand in and I grab whatever comes in my hand. It could be red or blue. Indiscriminately, I just pick one. I make no opinion or no preference. So yeah, there's basically saying you don't have to have a preference
Yeah.
of which
Sorry,
one
this
you
is
use.
for me. It's not for correct you.
All right. No, but I like that. It's a good word to learn. All right. Ivana, you get to do the first part here. Speak.
Speak speak tense.
Tens.
To be a bit more formal. If you both tell you, I need to speak with you now, you understand that it is very important.
Okay. I need to speak with you now. You're like, uh-oh, what happened? You might get a little nervous. So, tend. Tend is, in this case, means in the direction of or likely to be. So it is likely to be formal or goes in the direction of more formal. So your relationship with your boss might be more formal.
Yeah.
So I need to speak with you now. Now, of course, we have the word now. We feel it is urgent, but we also feel it is very important.
Oh, speak is more formal.
Yeah. All right, Fabrizio, talk.
Talk. Re- refers to more general topics, but you might add it with the proposition about the more formal.
This is not important. This is so weird. This is taken from a lady who's from England, and she uses so many other words that you don't need. You might add the proposition about. Okay, so example would be talk about something instead of, now we could say speak about something. I'm going to speak about something. Um, but they're just giving the recommendation that if you want to be a little more formal for talk, then use the word about. The president will talk about the economy. So would that be good, or is it better to say the president will speak about the economy?
Maybe it's
I'm going to
speak,
change this, and you're going to
Yeah.
see why. I did this on purpose. Ah, I don't like when it did that. Is that going to change my page? No. Okay. The president will speak about the economy is very, very strong.
Something formal.
Yeah. It's, you know, all the television change the channel. Every channel talk with the president. So now I'm gonna make these a little smaller because I really want these on the same page. 13, 12, too small. There we go. Talk about something means in general, right? I'm not specific, but definitely if I add the topic, then it is more formal for sure. The president will speak about the problems of the coronavirus. All right, let's be a little more specific. Speak is good for general use. All right, so we know that it sounds formal, but it's definitely okay to use for general use. So, may I speak with you? You just come up to the person and when would we do this? They would be person is in a group. Oop, I don't know why I said S. So if you have other people around you, maybe we are all together at work, but I want to talk with you privately, then I could say, may I speak with you? And you know to come with me to another room or the other side of the room. So the general feeling there is that you want to respect the privacy. Otherwise, I'm just going to start talking to you. Why do I need permission to speak to you unless I feel it is important that the other people don't hear you? So this is very polite. And if in general use, if you want to get somebody's attention and they are already talking or listening to other people talking, this is something you can do and be polite. All right. Now, this is quite general. We're not talking about what we want to speak about, but it also sounds a bit more formal. It sounds important because you don't want to say with other people listening. So it's common, which is why I say general. In fact, I'm just going to change that to common. I don't always like the way they use, whoa. I'm typing too fast without looking. Can I talk with you? What is the difference, you think? Can you read this? Whose turn is it? Can I talk with you?
It's more direct.
Okay. Well, so this is a little more casual, a little informal. It doesn't sound as important. And we can add about, if we add about, we can add some more detail. Can I talk with you in 5 minutes? Can I talk with you about the movie tonight? Can I talk with you before we go to the store and make a decision? Yeah. It's definitely a little informal because I don't feel that a group of people are there. I just want you to know that I'm a little serious. I need to get your attention, so I say, can I talk with you? Maybe you're watching television. And so I say, can I talk with you? You turn off the television.
It's more relaxing.
I want to get your attention. But I don't want to necessarily interrupt. Maybe you tell me, not now. That's why I ask you permission. Can I talk with you? No, wait until the commercial. Or wait until I finish my food. Or not now, I am following a recipe in the book and I cannot put attention with you. I cannot pay attention. So, may I is definitely more formal than can I. We learned that, right? Can I put in here could? Could I say, could I speak with you? Sure.
Yeah.
I could.
May I speak with you? Could I speak with you? Would be identical here. More formal, asking permission. Other people are in the group. So I'm going to put here polite. Cool. I'm making this cleaner for all of us. All right, so can I talk with you? Yeah, I just want to get your attention. Maybe it's not so important. But I know that you are doing something else.
And sorry, if I can use would, I use talk or speak?
Would in this case is not able to be used in this case.
Oh no? Okay.
No.
Mi piacerebbe.
If I wanted to use would, I would have to change the grammar structure.
Okay.
Would you speak with me tonight after dinner?
Okay. Oh, maybe is I like talk with you.
Would you be able to speak with me in 5 minutes? Yeah, there you could. Would you speak with me later, or would you speak with? No, I don't say would you speak with me because it is now, and would is for the future. May and could exist in the present or the future. May I speak with you in 5 minutes? Could I speak with you in 1 hour? May I speak with you after dinner tonight? So it could be future, but may I speak with you when you say it? I think you are saying in this exact moment. That's why it's more formal and more serious. I am thinking right now. So it is polite and it's also immediate. So I am going to take, I don't have to say of people because we know it's in a group. I'm going to say polite, immediate. Ah, still can't do it. 12. There we go. So polite and immediate. All right. Can I talk with you? I want to get your attention. Less important though. All right, let's go to the next one. Here's another example. Can we talk about your brother? So that sounds a little formal. Here we are using about. Like we said, sometimes you can add the word about, talk about. And then I want to give the topic, your brother. Maybe something medical, maybe he needs money, whatever. So let's talk about propositions for a moment, quickly. Which words can we use with talk or speak? You can talk to someone, you can speak to someone, you can talk with someone, or you can speak with someone, or you can speak about something, but you can talk about something or someone. So talk allows you to not refer to a topic of a person. When I say speak about, if I say speak about your brother, can we speak about your brother or talk about your brother? That is someone. Can we talk about the addiction your brother has? Can we speak about the addiction? No, not really. Speak about, yeah, speak about the addiction. Can we speak about, but again, the topic seems to be about something, not necessarily about the person. Trying to think of an example why you wouldn't do someone. Hey, you could speak about someone. I guess the real difference, the main difference is when you speak or talk about, we are including something. In all the other cases, it's about someone. Talk to someone, speak to someone, talk with someone, speak with someone, talk about someone, speak about someone, talk about someone. So the only difference is something for speak about. Okay, let's go on. And again, you're going to get a copy of this. I know it's always good to review. All right, here is interesting because this is when we are actually using it. Some people will say speak when they really mean to say talking. So most importantly, you can only use speak when you're talking about languages. They speak French. We do not say they talk French. So there is one difference. They speak a language. They talk in the language, but so you would have to say they are talking in French. But no, we just say speaking. So some people could say, this is possible. They were talking in French, but it is not really correct. They were speaking in French. How many languages do you speak is a good question. You don't ask how many languages do you talk. So that's another critical difference. I speak 3 languages, not I talk 3 languages. So again, speak is directly related to reference of the language. All right, let's go over this last one here. The most important thing to remember about the 2 verbs is to remember that they are synonyms and you can usually use them identical. The difference is very slight or small. So let's take a look at this one. I spoke with my manager yesterday. I talked with my manager yesterday. They are interchangeable, comma, they are identical. And then I gave you a reference here where I got the document. She actually has a YouTube. Now, I don't know if she's from Australia or from England. She has a very strong accent, but it wouldn't hurt to watch the video now that we just went over this. Now, I made changes, so the video won't be identical, but just to listen to the video and hear another person speaking could be interesting if you want to. All right, that's our first one. How are you guys feeling?
It's good.
A lot of information. All right, so I have another document that I would like to use. So let me go here. This one, I don't know if we're going to do all of this today, but let's see what we've got. I found this very cool because this is going to give you a little more sophistication when you're speaking with people. It will also help you to be more polite. Because you could always say, can I go? But you know that it's polite, more polite to say, could I leave? Or may I leave? So what to say when asking for other people's opinion? So what do you say when you're asking for other people's opinions? Well, quite simply, you could ask, do you agree? So maybe we're talking about politics or religion or a color of paint. I would like the blue paint. Mary would like the blue paint. Do you agree? What do you think? It's very basic. It's quite closed, that question. See, look how she writes. It's quite closed, that question. Instead of saying that question is quite closed. It's so funny. I understand it, but the English way of writing is very unusual. It is so formal. That question is quite closed. What do they mean by question closed? Well, I'm just simply asking you, do you agree, yes or no? What if we opened it up with a more interesting answer? What do you think about that? Now, I want more information. Or even more directly, what's your opinion? How do you feel about that? ¿Cómo siente sobre esto? ¿Qué crees? What is your opinion? What do you believe? So if you don't want to just ask if you agree, you can always ask a little more detail. What do you think about it? What is your opinion? So if you want to make it a little more polite, even more polite, wow, we can go and say, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Can you go into detail? I'm interested to hear your opinion about this. Wow, this is very formal, but in the sense that you seem more sincere. Más sincero, right? You are more sincere because you don't just say, what's your opinion? Or what do you think? Do you like it? Yes? No? Wow. No, I'm interested in hearing your opinion about this. I clearly want you to talk about it. All right. Now, you could also, if this is at a meeting, would you like to add anything? So maybe you do most of the explaining, but you're asking the other person if you forgot any details. So maybe when my wife and I, we do a lot of programs together. Sometimes I talk more, sometimes she talks more. She talks about the nonprofit business. I talk more about the details of the program. So when we talk together to make a presentation, I might turn to her and say, would you like to add anything? And she'll say, oh, yes, you can donate money. Here is our website. She'll give some more detail. So we are working together as a team, and we are speaking politely together. Nice. This is a nice sort of polite way of inviting other people into the conversation. So let's think about that for a moment. Would you like to add anything? Is something you can ask to a person who has been quiet during the meeting or during the discussion. If it's a casual conversation, they are probably talking. But if it's a formal conversation where you are watching a movie or a presentation or something, you have different documents, blah, 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 it's more formal, but the other person is not saying anything, then you could just simply ask, would you like to add anything? And they could say, no, I'm okay. Or they could say, yes, what about blah, blah, blah? I hope you don't forget that I need two, not one, of this item, blah, blah, blah. So you were being very polite. Let's see. A silent person may add in both those cases. Wow, that's already 12. I got to make it smaller. There we go. Oh, I see what I did. All right. What to say when you want to interrupt? Here's another topic. Okay, so what does interrupt mean?
Interrupt is stop.
So you want to stop the action that is ongoing. Okay. So other people are talking. At least one other person is talking. So here are some situations. The first might be 3 people are talking together and 2 people start talking back and forth and they're not listening to you anymore. Maybe your opinion does not seem valid and you want to add your opinion. You need to interrupt. The other is when you come into a room and other people are talking. You are not part of the conversation. you want to join the conversation, or you want to give information to someone in the group, but you don't want to stop the presentation or the conversation. You just need 5 seconds. You just need to know a yes or no question. Can I start now? Or do you want more coffee? And then I'm going to leave and I will go make the coffee, get the coffee. So I don't need to stop the negotiation. All right, so let's take a look at our examples here. So what do you say when you want to interrupt? When someone else is talking and you need to interrupt them. All right. Well, there are definitely ways to do it rudely, not so nice, rudosamente. What is that word in Italian, rudely?
And rudemente.
Rudemente, okay. That would be also in Spanish.
Yeah.
Or ruidoso, but ruidoso is loudly, yeah. Rudemente, all right. So there are many polite ways. We want to really learn the polite ways. We are learning another person's language. We want, if we're going to interrupt, we want to be polite. But the truth is sometimes you do have to interrupt. The worst case is it's emergency. The best case is you just need a quick answer. So the basic ways are to say sorry or to say excuse me. If you just say sorry, you go immediately into the conversation. You aren't really giving them opportunity to say no. Sorry, but the alarm is going off. How do I turn it off? You know, sorry, but Bob is on the telephone. He wants to know if we have the meeting tonight after class. Oh yeah, tell him we have the meeting. And then you continue the conversation. The person only needs a few seconds of your attention. Now, excuse me is better. Every language has excuse me. And what I like is in the other languages, it is polite. You say con permiso.
Mi permette, mi scusi.
Yeah.
Right, permiss, you're asking for them to say yes.
Sorry, Dave. I have a question for you
Okay.
about sorry. Sometime I hear before sorry the people put so sorry. What is the difference?
So sorry is when you lament. So here is the real way you're using sorry is lament, but so is used to mean extra or more.
More, okay.
In Spanish, so would be tan, or lo siento muchísimo, or lo siento tan mucho,
Okay,
or
is
Sorry
for
is like a apology. I'm sorry.
is
yeah.
for emphasize.
Okay, emphasize, sure.
Okay, thank you.
So when you break something that belongs to another person, you don't just say sorry, you say, I am so sorry. As soon as you say so, it's like you feel it in the heart. I am so sorry. I can buy you another one. Oh, don't worry, it's old, don't worry. I have two more. You want to break them? All right, so to be a little more polite, excuse me is better than just direct with sorry. All right. You then can lead straight on or directly give your different idea or your opinion or whatever information. So here's a good example. Ivana, read our one. Sorry.
Sorry, I thought our meeting was on Thursday next week, not Wednesday. You know, it's just quick to say. Sorry, but did you want more coffee?
Ah. So in both cases, especially this one, because all you need, they can be two people can be talking. They could be a very strong discussion. And you open the door and you go into and you say, sorry, but did you want more coffee? And the people can go, yes, me, and you leave immediately. And you go get the coffee. And they continue talking. So the interruption is minimal. So it's still kind of polite, but it would be better to say, excuse me, but did you want more coffee? Because here, and I'm going to change this, because I think you really, if it's interrupting somebody that is talking and you are not there, then I think you really should say, excuse me, perdóname, right? It's not the same thing as saying sorry here. Sorry here, I am admitting I made a mistake. Sorry, I made the mistake. I thought our meeting was on Thursday, not Wednesday. But we are interrupting the conversation because in that moment, maybe we are looking at our calendar and we put on our calendar the wrong day. Now, here is where we're going to say that you might do something differently here. You need, if you're not sure, you need clarification. Then we're going to have a different way for this if we need clarification. That is below. We'll get to that in 1 second. All right, so let's take a look here. You can now informally interrupt somebody to add an idea to a conversation by saying, do you mind if I add that? Add to that, pardon. Or can I jump in here? These are very nice ways to join the conversation and not change it by interrupting them. You want to be part of the process that is ongoing. So you are interrupting someone to add an idea means that you want to join. This is good. The more I talk about this, the more it is. I learn about explaining what is the feeling. So what to say when you want to join the conversation?
Excuse me.
So, excuse me, do you mind if I add to that? Or excuse me, can I jump in here? Sure. And I would add excuse me here. It's definitely more formal. I mean, yeah, but more convincing. I feel better because I hear you say, excuse me, and that is my standard to pay attention. And then you are asking me politely, do you mind? Do you mind is with your permission, may I add to that? Is there a problem if I voice my opinion? Can I jump in here? This is very simple. You don't have to use excuse me or anything. Just say, hey, oh, that's another one. Hey, can. Now you have their attention. Hey, can I jump in there? So they're informal. I wouldn't necessarily do that in business. It literally means, can I jump in the conversation right now? At this point, I've got something to share. I want to say it. All right, here are some more polite ways to express it. So you might say, sorry to interrupt, but I've got something to say. That's what we're doing this. You don't have to say this. This part is optional. This is what you're thinking. I'm sorry to interrupt, but somebody is on the phone for you. Do you want to take the call? There's an example. Sorry for interrupting. Can you help me for 2 minutes? Or sorry for interrupting, but I can't find the materials you need. Generally, you're going to use the word but. You don't have to. Sorry for interrupting. I need to borrow a pencil. I don't have to say but. Just a comma. Notice that one is sorry to interrupt, and the other is sorry for interrupting. So what is the difference? I like the way this is. Sorry to interrupt is probably used when you're speaking directly to that person. I look at your eyes. You see me open the door. So I already have your attention. And you know I am speaking to you. So I am saying, sorry to interrupt. Oh, but, real quick. Da, 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 da. And then continue. If you are entering a room full of people and there's more than one person, right? Full of people. It could be a meeting room, something like that. You know it's a conversation of various people. So now you open the door and you say, sorry for interrupting. I just needed to share something with you. Now you gave extra time because it's a longer sentence so people can stop and pay attention. Because people don't always stop if they are dedicated to their opinion in the conversation. Sorry for interrupting. I just needed to share something with you. I have 5 free tickets for the concert to see Carlos Santana. Does anybody want to go? Oh, now everybody's listening. I will go to see Carlos Santana. He's my favorite.
Yeah, I remember. He's a great guitar man.
Yeah. All right, so now to go even more formal. So perhaps in your job, you're working like in a hotel or a restaurant and you need to interrupt a customer or your client. So you could say, sorry, may I interrupt you for just a moment? If I may interrupt you for a moment. Wow, very formal. So different options for a moment, for a minute. That's up to you, what you decide. If you want to say just a minute, only a moment, Only a minute? Yeah, just whatever is comfortable for you. 1 minute. Many times we say for 1 minute. But then it's not really interruption. That's like permanent. Moment is short. So now we are a little more interested because you don't take my time away. All right. Next part. Many times in the conversation, you are still trying to say something. You've been thinking about it. It is part of the topic. But the other person or other people start to change the topic. And you don't want to finish the topic. So that's what gone off topic means. It means they have left, ha salido. They have left the topic. So if you go off topic, it means that you started talking about something, for example, apples. But while you were talking, you started to talk about something else. Maybe you got distracted, distraído, think, or you got excited, emotional, and you went into telling a different story. So how do you go back to the original topic? Maybe the other person, I'm going to change this here. Maybe the other person that you are talking to has gone off topic, and you're thinking, how on earth did we end up talking about pizza? One moment we are talking about apples, and now you're talking about pizza. Why? What happened to apples? I'm not finished talking about apples. So you have to, I don't like this, you've got. The English like to use you have. You have to get your conversation back on track. What does that mean, back on track?
Return.
Return. And what is track, actually? If you use track, line or linea,
line,
right?
Yes.
The train track.
Yeah, train track.
All right, good. So you really just need to jump in and figure out how to bring it back. So here is number 16. So anyway, getting back to my story, what you're doing is you are steering or maneuvering the conversation back to apples. So anyway, getting back to apples, as I was saying, this one is very popular. Como estuve hablando, diciendo, something like that, as I was saying before. I wouldn't necessarily use this one, the third one, as I was saying before, unless you are getting a little bit frustrated. If you were talking before and somebody changed the topic, and the second time they changed the topic again, now you're a little anxious. As I was saying before, when you interrupted me or you changed the topic, so this is a little more emphasis, a little stronger. Where was I? You ask yourself. Where was I? Yes. Now I remember. So maybe you forgot your topic That happens to me. I have attention deficit disorder. If I don't have the paper in front of me to follow the details, I go in the other room, I forget, I come back, I start again. Oh, I see something. Oh, I got to put it in the garbage. Oh, the garbage is full. I have to go outside, take the garbage out. What was I doing? I forget. I see Milan is taking some good notes.
Yep.
Ah, yes. All right, you can combine some of these expressions together. So anyway, where were we? Ah, yes. You were talking about apples. Now I bring you back to the original. So I mentioned the topic. I mentioned who was talking about. Maybe I was talking about apples. I was talking about apples. I was speaking about apples. So just a couple different ways. You could say, hey, we got off track. That would be a little rude, but all right, check this out. Sorry. Now, this is when we need to clarify. And when it's not your language, this happens a lot. You think you understood, right? You were listening, you were paying attention, it went in your ears, and then when it got to the brain said, um, what did he say? Maybe 5 minutes later, you don't remember the detail. So you need, but usually it's right away. You're listening, you're shaking your head, yeah, 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 I understand, I understand. No, I don't understand. Or you're not positive. So we need to double check. All right, Fabrizio, please read this paragraph.
And these are really important expressions to learn to help you as you're listening so that you can feel more confident about your answer. You know, when you're answering someone else's question, this is just a little check to make sure you're answering it accurately.
All right, so we got 2 words here for pronunciation.
Answering.
So in this one, the W is silent or mute or mudo. Answer. Answering.
Answering, yeah.
Accurately.
Accurately.
Good. So the double C means it's like a little bit like a Q sound, right?
Yeah.
Accure.
Accu.
The cure.
Accure.
Q sound.
Accurately.
Cool. All right. So you didn't hear quite perfectly. No, not exactly perfect. So what would you say? Number 19, Milana.
So what you asking is, and then
Mm-hmm.
repeat back what you heard.
So a person says to you, okay, don't forget, we're leaving today at 5 o'clock and you have to make sure you bring your suitcase. And you say, so what you're asking is that I am ready and have my suitcase. Is that correct? So you repeat back, and you might even ask, is that correct? So the part in the middle is you repeat what you heard. And then they know if you heard it and can repeat it back with their words, then they say, yes, that is correct. maybe the words aren't as critical, but the idea is more critical. So you might not say it back in the exact words. We're going to get to that. Number 20, Fabrizio.
So, what you want to know is,
Then repeat the information.
and then repeat the information.
And then repeat.
Ah, it's actually repeat the question. If they want to know something, they have a question. So if somebody says to you, I'd like to know what you're going to be doing about the coronavirus for the winter. So then the person asks back, so you want to know what the president is going to do about the coronavirus? Yes, that is correct. So any question, you just ask back the question. If you didn't hear the question correctly, they will know and they will validate yes, or they will say again, maybe using different words. All right, signify, significar. Do you mean? Here we don't have to use the exact words. We can paraphrase, which means to say back the feeling or the idea. So if I say to you, I don't think we should make a decision until Sunday because we don't know if the weather is going to be good or not, I could then paraphrase and say, so you mean we should wait? Or you mean you think we should wait until we know about the weather? Yes, exactly. So I don't have to repeat the question if I know the idea and I am almost positive I understand your idea or concept. So that's cool. I don't have to ask back word by word, identical. No. If I have the feeling, then what happens is when you are listening in another language, you hear all the important words. You don't always remember the grammar structure. You hear the critical words. Somebody has a name. If they're talking about some material, you understand the noun. If there is some action like working, you pay attention. If it's some detail like money, you pay attention. Those details you remember, and maybe you are 90% certain that you understand. So you can use the words from the details to repeat back in your words. So you want suitcase, 8 o'clock, if not raining, right? That's what I heard. I don't remember the detail, but I remember suitcase and rain. So I kind of give you the information back if I understand well. Here's another way to say it, number 22, Milana.
In other words, that you're saying is say back in your own words.
So you can use your own words or their words. So it's actually option or. Whatever part you remember, you can repeat, but you don't have to be exact. So in other words, what you're saying is we might not be leaving on Sunday if the weather is bad. What you are saying is we are not leaving if there is rain. That is correct. So I don't have to repeat the sentence. I only need to know the important details. What is critical? Rain, suitcase, decision, yes or no. All right, Fabrizio, paragraph, please.
And this is a really natural part of conversation. Native speakers are not going to worry if you ask them to confirm what they said because it just makes it much easier to continue the conversation right, better
Right?
to have
Yeah.
understanding.
So don't ever be afraid to ask somebody to repeat if you feel or you are certain it is important. One example is when somebody gives you directions. We always get nervous. Go 3 blocks, make a left, walk down, turn right at the corner, then you're going to see the post office. And now you forgot the first part. So you could say, could you repeat the first part? I remember the corner and the post office, but I don't remember the first part. Yeah, don't be afraid to ask. And never be afraid to ask if they can say it with different words. Maybe a word is not in your vocabulary, but the synonym is in your vocabulary. Maybe you never heard the word gorgeous, but you know the word beautiful, you know the word pretty, you know the word elegant, but you don't know the word gorgeous. So they change the word. That's fine. Just so that you better understand. Customer service. If you're working in customer service, maybe at a hotel or at a restaurant, or really any job where you have details, maybe an hour, a time, a room number, special instructions for the food, something that is critical. That is where you can use the word confirm. And I like this. Confirm is a little more formal, but it definitely makes you know how important it is. I actually consider it more formal. Personally, I think it's really more formal because you don't say it to your friends unless you're talking about tickets to a date, a doctor appointment, again, things that are critical that you need to confirm. So you might say, excuse me, I'd like to confirm, not excuse me, I'd like to confirm what you said. You want 2 orders of toast with butter and 1 order with cream cheese. Yes. If not, they say, no, 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 no. I said 2 with cream cheese, 1 with butter. Oh, okay. I'm glad I confirmed. So you want 2 with cream cheese and 1 with butter. Yes, that is correct. I reverse. Excuse me, can I just confirm that you said, or can I confirm what you said? And then maybe you can give some detail here. Can I confirm that we are not working on Monday because it is a holiday? That is correct. Can I confirm we don't have class on Thanksgiving? Yes. All right. You guys tired? It's past 8:30. We have more. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send this to you. We can continue, but it's like 4 more pages. It's 8:30, guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
Two long hours here.
yeah, it's an interesting lesson.
It's kind of fun, right? I
Yeah,
know it's different than actually making the conversation, but it gives us how to be best when we are in conversation.
yeah,
How to make sure we understand the conversation, how to interrupt in the conversation but be polite, and how to ask other people for their opinion. Very good.
thank you.
So this is, I cannot teach this in level 1, level 2, or level 3. No. This is for the higher levels, more critical, more detail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So thank you again.
thank you.
Thank you both of you.
I see you Thursday.
See you
Thursday
Thursday.
at 6:30. All right, take
Bye
care.
bye. Bye. Bye, Mivana.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.